you can start whenever. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jody Servon. I currently live in the United States in North Carolina. Having a month of uninterrupted time to focus on creative projects has been phenomenal. I'm a parent of 2 small children, and I was feeling kind of stretched before the pandemic, and then having 2 years of very different kind of life with working at home and schooling at home and feeling those pressures. It's been really a life-affirming and also re-energizing experience to be here. My main focus while I've been here has been working on a project, Saved Objects of the Dead, which is a book about objects people have saved from loved ones that have died. And I've been working on that with Lorene Delaney-Ullman, an author from California, for over a decade now. And during the pandemic, we got approached to do a book of the project. And now here, I've been able to work with a copy editor and our designer and finalize materials for the publication. And this book is something that we hope will help people in the grieving process. And part of my process here has been going on other people's grief journeys and reading memoirs and kind of listening to podcasts and hearing the ways that people are processing grief and kind of going deeper with that than was possible with juggling all the responsibilities at home. And part of another thing that I worked on was my project, My Time is Valuable, which is an advocacy effort for our women, girls, and non-binary people to have equality. And that's something in the US is particularly important for our legislators to hear and for people in the workplaces and in our homes. But I wanted to come to Iceland to see what the gender equality was like here, because there's so much good press about being a little bit more balanced. And one of the highlights of being at the fish factory was having Katrin Jakobsdottir, the Prime Minister, come and participate in the project with some of the other politicians that were here right before the election. So we have a photograph of her participating in the project, which was amazing to have happen, but also reading Eliza Reid's book, Secrets of the Sprackar, and trying to get a different kind of understanding about how equality has been working here and what some of the efforts are, in addition to seeing where some of the challenges still are faced by people in Iceland. And then in reading that book, she talks about juggling all of the balls, and that's something as a parent that I feel like I've been doing, and it's something that you don't have a choice of whether or not you're going to keep doing. But here I started thinking about all the balls that I juggle as a parent and as an artist, and sometimes it feels like, you keep getting more balls put into the process of juggling. So I made hundreds and hundreds of balls that I'm going to turn into a series of drawings. So I'm looking forward to getting those back to North Carolina to work on in my studio. And then another thing that has been kind of really wonderful is to have a space to work on a sketch of an installation project that I'd been thinking about for some time. In the US, we're kind of going through a process of another resurgence of banning books, and also thinking about libraries and access to information and them as a community resource. So I started making a series of teardrops and looking at vintage photos of libraries from the US, thinking about in the wartime efforts when people were really clamoring to be in libraries, but there were blackouts, so that way, people weren't seen in different cities, and trying to kind of work through lots of those issues of access to information and censorship. So I worked on a sketch of that as well. So I feel like I'm coming away with a really productive time for being at the fish factory and having the opportunity to talk with people from different countries about their creative processes and also grief and loss and mourning. Some of us had experienced death of friends and family while we were here, and being able to talk about that was really important for my project, and also, to kind of hear how we move through these experiences as individuals and also as communities. So in addition to enjoying the outdoors tremendously and hiking and walking and being, a pedestrian for an entire month, it's been really wonderful to live with people and share space with them.